and we're going to modify this 75% of the bracelet. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and add a mesh, and the mesh is at a torus. And then right here on the bottom, when this happens, it gives you the option. So I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time so you can see it. So add mesh torus. See this right here? Add torus goes in here. You're going to add some more segment at 64, and you're going to change this to make sure it's 24 and 64. So now that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go back here. Let's go into object mode. So we go over here to the gear. We're going to add a modifier and decimate, and we're going to come here, unsubsidized, and we're going to make this to 1. Now notice if you go up higher, it gives you different options. See? So you can experiment also, but we're going to keep this at 1 for now. Okay, that looks good. Then we're going to hit apply. Should look like this. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see it. Let's press the number 1, zoom in. So now we're going to go into edit mode, and we're going to make sure we're on faces. I'm going to press F and shift and click, double click on it. That's the trick. Hold down F, N, and shift together and double click. Now we want to have the segments going over the opposite direction. So I'm going to press Fn, shift, and double click on the outside. So if I click down, everything looks nice and neat. So now I'm going to scroll back in. I'm going to go to, we want to control inverse. So we're going to inverse the faces. So we're going to delete this part. And at this point, you can do a lot of creative things here, but let's go ahead and keep it simple. So I'm going to go ahead and press X and delete faces. So your mesh should look like this. Okay. So now we're going to go here and add a modifier, solidifier. Okay. And then we're going to add another modifier, which is subdivision surface. We kind of give you a nice smooth surface. And we just change the viewpoint to 3. Okay. And then I'm going to change the thickness. That looks about right. And apply and apply. That looks pretty good. So now we got our object, and now this is where you can be creative. So I'm going to go ahead and add another mesh. Let's add a sphere, and I'm going to move this up. Let's work in object mode for now. So I'm going to click on my move tool. I'm going to move this. Let's go ahead and edit mode. And let's move this up a little bit. Now I'm going to press 1 to make sure everything looks good. 3 and 7. That looks nice, symmetrical. Beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate, undo. So let's go back into our object mode. And we need to ungroup this. So I'm going to go to edit mode. Click on this object. Okay, over here. We don't want to move that. We want to move the object. Now, command J. Okay, looks good. I'm going to duplicate. That's smaller. And I'm going to rotate R. I'm going to rotate on the x-axis. RY. Perfect. And let's press G. Let's move it right on top. Press 1. I want to see where it's at. 3. So I'm going to line this right on top. 7. Allows me to line it up nice and clean. And I'm going to press S. And I'm going to scale this. Go ahead and move this back. I'm going to press S to scale it in. Perfect. I'm going to press 1 so I can see what it looks like. I'm going to move this in. It can be moved over a tad bit so it's centered. 1. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate. I'm going to rotate. Just press R, allows you to rotate. And I'm going to go ahead and move this down. See how I'm modifying this design? I'm going to scale this in. S. Pull it in. Okay. That looks nice. Interesting. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is let's add a light source. Click add light. You have 4 different types of lights. So I'm going to add let's add an let's do a point light. Okay, and let's move that light. Move it up. Okay, and let's see what it looks like. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a plane. Okay. Camera mode, let's see what it looks like in the camera. Let's press G, allows us to move. Let's G, press on the camera. G allows me to move the object into the camera. By pressing G and select it on the camera, I can move it in. I can click on the light source and position the light source inside where we want the light source to be. Okay, and also can change the intensity of the light bulb, so we can go here, bulb right here. Right now it's not too strong, so we want to make that maybe, let's try maybe 500. Enter. Okay, let's see. Much stronger. See, light's got a little stronger, nice soft shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and add a plane. So add a plane. I'm going to press S to scale that out to give us a floor. Just haven't filled the whole section. I'm going to add another plane. So click on add, mesh, add a plane. I'm going to move this plane over here, and I'm going to scale this plane, and I want to rotate this plane. Let's rotate on the X. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Bring that up. Always tricky using this RY. So rotate RY allows you to rotate on the Y axis. I'll go ahead and set up my keys. Okay, good. you can see the keys on the bottom. Alright, so let's click on this. That looks good. Let's move it around. Let's add in the shadow. I'm going to scale this up some more. S. Okay. Scale that up. And I want to rotate. So I'm going to just rotate so we make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, that looks good. Nice little back wall. Not perfect back wall, but you get the idea. I'm going to add another wall. So I'm going to go ahead and press bang. Let's add another plane. And I want to rotate this plane. And I want to scale this plane. Okay, let's move this up. Let's move it back. And I want to rotate it not that way. Rotate on the Y. Rotate on the Z axis. There it is. Bam. Okay, it's going to rotate on the Z axis. And then I'm going to rotate. Let's get that back how it was. Perfect. Move that in there. We're building up a nice wall unit. Rotate on the Y. Okay. And now we just move it back. Right here. Move it up. It's always tricky. Okay, good. So now let's rotate. Nice. Let's see what it looks like in the camera view. Okay. Let's click on our camera so you can see. It looks like our camera's is actually in the back. Grab. Camera's in the back. Let's bring our camera around. Let's rotate our camera. Okay, so let's get out of that mode. And our camera is over here on this side, see? So let's go ahead and move our camera. Let's click on 1 so we can see what's at. 3. Okay. 7. Bring the camera around some more. And we need to rotate this camera so we can see what's going on. Come on. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate. And move this to this side. I'm going to click on my light. And let's rotate this in. Perfect. R. Straight. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Where is that camera? Camera's in the back. Okay. So we go back. That looks nice. A nice light source. We can also rotate that light. Kind of like it right in there. That's a nice look. Looks good like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add some color. Let's click on shading. Now before we do that, something we need to do. We need to group it. So what I'm going to do is go back here, layout, click on this, hold shift, click on the ground, and click on that side. I'm going to group. So to group, you want to hit Control J, and now it's all one. Okay, let's move this over here. I'm gonna click on, now let's come here. Let's click on this, and I want to group this. I'm going to Control J, and there it is. That's one group. The reason why you group it is that when you take it into shading mode, let's go take a look and see. I'm going to move this back over. Let's get this group, bring it back. Perfectly get it aligned. Okay, let's see what it looks like. The light. Okay, no, it's better. Let's make sure it's on the table. No, it's not. So move this up, and I'll put it like that. So now, let's go ahead and go into shading. Now click on the object. See how it selects the whole thing. Let's add a color scheme. I'm gonna make this like a gold, so I'm gonna go here and bring that color down. Let's put it a little more darkness right in here. Okay, I'm gonna bring the metallic up. Okay. Wow, nice. That's nice. The sheen, it gives a nice sheen. Yes, that's nice. So you can experiment with these, you know. Experiment with them, see what works. Emission gives you a nice, see that? Beautiful. Okay. See, so you can play around with it. There's a lot of different things you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color of this background. So I'm going to go ahead and add a color to the background. And I'm going to click here and add new. So now I'm going to change the background. Nice dark. I'm going to put a nice soft white here. Alright, so now I go here, I click on my viewpoint shading, and now look how lovely that looks. Okay, I can change the background color to be black, nice and black. See, it looks pretty cool. And that's just taking one element. We can add more to it, but I just want to show you how you're going to be playing around with this particular piece using this type of technique to build out this design. Not bad. Okay, when you have it, you're going to go ahead and take a print it out, hitting your little printer here, and you're going to make sure you render it out as a PNG. Your resolution looks good here. Make sure you give it a name. You go right here. You're going to render image, and it's going to render the image. Okay, once you get it rendered, you should give me 2 versions. Now you can always move things around. Let's go back into layout mode. Let's click on the light. Okay, here's the light. That's what we need, the light. See, you can play around with the light, move things around, see how that looks. Okay. Kind of like it right here. So when you're ready to take a shot, you take a shot from here, you take another shot. Alright. So I'm going to pause. And there you have it. You have your object that you're going to create. Remember, we're using silver or gold on this particular piece. Nice clean background. Okay. I want to change the light color, so I'm going to go here. Add like a nice brown to that. That looks nice. So you can experiment with so many different options. You see? We're gonna go with this option right here. That's beautiful. Okay, and there you have it. Your object, 3D object. Okay. Nice. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording.